Observer here from the observation deck, and today I want to talk to you about the order of the arrow. That's right, the order of the arrow is a. I'm not really going to call it a secret society because you really can't have teenagers in a secret society. That would be bad, and preteens, I guess. So let's get into this. Now, the Order of the Arrow is a Boy Scout fraternity, and what happens is, so you got your scout troop, right? Um, expect to be visited by two arrow scouts, two arrow men. They'll come in and they'll have these sashes that have that depict an arrow on it, and it's a white sash with a red arrow, and takes up the whole body, and it's a fraternal order. And what happens is they talk about greater service within the scouting community, within the Boy Scouts, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. And so your troop is to elect two members of the, two scouts to go to the what's called an ordeal weekend, and that ordeal weekend, they are given scant food, and they are given, they kind of they have to sleep outside. Uh, it's a 3 day thing or 2 day thing. Like it starts on like a Friday afternoon, it ends on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, and it's got a ceremony at the end. It's like, okay, well, no biggie. Okay, yeah, put through the ringer, whatever. Um, okay, so that's not too bad. That doesn't sound too bad, except for the starving to death. So they kind of have this sort of thing where they kind of they kind of have you know admonish these Native American type deities like the Great Spirit and whatnot. So, anyways, so this is from their own website. And it says, for over 100 years, the Order of the Arrow has recognized scouts and scouters who has best exemplify the scout oath and law of their daily lives. This recognition provides encouragement for others to live these ideals as well. Arrowmen are known for maintaining camping in traditions and spirit, promoting year-round and long-term resident camping, and providing cheerful service to others. OA service activities, adventures, and training for youth and adults are models for quality leadership development and programming that enrich and help to extend scouting to America's youth. All right, so if you were to click on history, it just has this little brief video about the founder of the BSA, Director Erner Goodman, Assistant Camp Director Carol A. Goodson. Okay, so anyways, so it goes into just a brief kind of service, and so anyways, it really, this is ever since I took the obligation for the first time, I have been in awe of the legacy of service left by hundreds of thousands of arrowmen who came before me. Their commitment to our core values and century lays the cornerstone for everything we do in the present and future. Okay, so it's just a bunch of fluff, really. Um, and of course, it has something about a national jamboree of airmen, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, anyways, so the thing is, the aeromen. Here, let's get over here to membership. Oh, what happened? There we go. Okay, so you have the membership. So you go through the ordeal, you become an inductee, and basically after you're an inductee for 6 months, um, you are able to become a brotherhood member. Brotherhood membership, and basically this is just doing projects around a lodge. How funny of a name, a lodge. Let's see, and then there's a brotherhood ceremony. Okay, which emphasis on ideals of scouting order. Uh, Completion of the ceremony signifies full membership in the order. Okay, so you get inducted. That's after the ordeal. Um, and you completed the ordeal. And then after 6 months of service, you become a Brotherhood member. And then there's a Vigil Honor. And it's like after 2 years of exceptional service as a Brotherhood member, with the approval of a National Order of the Arrow Committee, Scout or Scouter may be recognized with a Vigil Honor for their distinguished contributions to their lodge, the Order of the Arrow Scouting, or their Scout Camp. This honor is bestowed by special selection and is limited to one person for every 50 members registered with a lodge each year. So you see, it's if you think about it, within a year time at your local scout troop, um, you'll get a visit from the Arrowmen, and they'll hype up this whole thing about the Order of the Arrow, and your troop elects two scouts to go to said event, to an ordeal ceremony, and it's like this. And and while you might have some that go through the whole thing and then go through it and then they you know decide to continue to brotherhood and vigil honor and things like that, but chances are you go through that whole thing, you're like, man, this is lame. I'm no, no. Okay, so you had that. So let's look at some of these. Let's go ahead and take a quick look um, right here. Order of the Arrow requirements. Okay, and this right here tells you pretty much like, okay, so you're part of this thing, and you're giving things out, you're kind of conducting things, you're helping out, so you're given this handbook. It's like, okay, what do we got to do for these scouts? So it gives you kind of like it's kind of like a cheater's guide, but it's more or less for like the counselors and scoutmasters to just kind of conduct this ceremony uh, the way it should be, and then so basically, I guess they are given a something to study before the actual ceremony, and it's like so basically it gives this questionnaire, and it's like 30 some odd questions, 25, 30 questions, and so it's like, what is the initial membership of the Order of the Arrow, ordeal membership? Why is it so called? Because it proceed by four. So basically, there's all this stuff you have to memorize before the closing ceremony, and that is the sash you get. Um, so right here, um, let's see. This is the thing. This is the thing, and this right here is the thing they just kind of do not want you to basically they feel like you'd be betraying your oath if you talked about any of this specifically, the last few questions. And it's like so so basically you get the symbol and how's it worn, you point to the right shoulder, you give the hand clasp of the order, which I forget what it was. I saw it once, I'll have to look it up. But I was never in the Boy Scouts, mind you, and then watch me get flooded and sworn by people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking about blah 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 blah." Just like the Masons, whatever. I don't care. Um, and so it's like, how must this admonition always be giving? Give the admonition. What does it mean to love one another? You give the sign of the ordeal, and what's the full name of the ordeal? Um, and all this all this stuff. So you get the Delaware Indians, the Lenni Lenape. Um, which I actually have. I could actually say, hey, I have this sort of Native American blood right here, the Lenape, the Delaware Indians. Uh, but I don't make a big deal about it. I don't. So you give the words, you sing the song, which is a really really weird song. Um, so it's like, okay, well maybe that's not too bad. Um, oh yikes! Let me close that out. Okay, oopsie. There we go. Cool. All right. So let's get back over here. All right. So you had all that. Now here's the thing: is you're given these what's called Spirit of the Arrow booklet, and as you can see, this is a PDF, so you kind of have to fold it up and give it to your scout. And so it goes through this all whole thing. It's like, so kind of gives you advice, guiding you through, and everything else like that. And like, here's the weird thing: you get to the last couple of pages out of the 6-page booklet. Who am I? For the moment, that is less important than what I represent. It is enough to say that I am a friend you have probably known for a long time. Right now, what is important is that you commit yourself to taking the first step. In a short time, you will be given the opportunity to undergo an ordeal. Your induction into the Order of the Arrow. This will test not only your physical strength, but your inner strength. But by taking full advantage of this opportunity, you will find yourself better able to serve scouting and your unit, the ones who chose you. Okay, so basically, you get back and you feel privileged after this. And I've heard stories of these arrow men bossing around Eagle Scouts, and these arrow men not exactly being Eagle Scouts. So it gives you and it kind of strokes your ego a bit, ego a bit. Okay, okay. So all right. So in the next so basically let's see. I congratulate you in your Order of the Arrow election. Okay. So yeah, you get elected and all this other stuff. Okay. So in the next 24 hours, you will start a long and toilsome journey. It will require sacrifice on your part and will test your strength to the utmost. Yet the strength you will need does not come from muscles alone. If you are weak in the spirit, you will not reach the goal, but if you are brave, strong, and cheerful, you will remember this ordeal as one of the happiest events of your life. Are you prepared? Okay, yeah, you're given this on that, and then you're okay. So let's read the last couple of pages. Okay, so spent these night alone. I mean, I one time I had these printed out and I looked at them just for studying, and I don't know what I did with that whole packet. Um, okay, so yeah, and and there's like how many books? 7 booklets, 8. Um, so yeah, basically it all ends like saying, "I will be there to guide you," and all this other thing. On the spirit of the arrows, like it's some sort of either God or ghost or whatever that you have along with you. Now, going back for the We don't have to look at that. Oh crap, I shouldn't have closed that out so I could put that in the description. Oh well, I will find it again. I'll put it in the description. It's a guide for officers and advisors. And so this is from phoenixmasonry.org, Phoenix branch of Freemasonry. I believe it's Scottish, right? The OA rituals are much simpler than those of Freemasonry, but the basic structure is the same. The lodge is ceremonially open, the ritual performed, a re- recapit- recapitulation, these words they make up, of the ritual is given, and the lodge is ceremonial closed. In 1927, OA Grand Lodge proposed a series of questions to test the Brotherhood candidate knowing of the structure and sacrifice of the ordeal ceremony in a fashion of clearly modeled on the questions and answers a Masonic candidate must know before advancing to the next degree. The OA ceremonies, however, unlike Masonic rituals, become shorter and simpler as one progresses. The Brotherhood ceremony retains the structure summarized above, but the Vigil honor abandons it altogether. Thus, the highest honor of the OA is ritualistic, the least Masonic it appears to derive from Satan, Seton. The OA seeks to incite the value of brotherhood, cheerfulness, and service into its members, and in that there is no uh, discord, it says disaccord, but discord with the express values of the craft. Both groups share common values, are traditionally male, and share a similar hierarchy structure. Um, in the OA, we don't find any explicit interpolation of Masonic values. Rather, there is an intensification of values already present in scouting. The Masonic values are almost incidental, meaning it's like, well, it's just kind of there. What is more important, however, is the very Masonic vehicle Goodman and Edson chose to communicate these values. They understood the power of the ceremony and symbolism as a means of instilling ideas. Not surprisingly, a candidate for the OA must be a more advanced scout, first class or higher, which requires a lad uh, to be a slightly older adolescent. The OA is an intensification of the scouting experience, a rite of passage for youth lads embarking on the path to manhood. Like many others before him, Goodman and Edson drew up a familiar and proven system, Freemasonry, for their inspiration. Okay, so it all goes with that. I mean, it's like, okay, here's the basic. I mean, here's what we're used to. We could instill it into the thing, but there are a lot of similarities between Freemasonry and Boy Scouts in general. But the Order of the Arrow is like it's those kind of special hierarchy things, almost like becoming a 32nd or 33rd degree Mason, except for they don't they don't have crazy freaking oaths saying, oh, I'll cut my throat from ear to ear, blah 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 blah, things like that. Or I'll be disemboweled or something. It's like each oath of a Masonic degree is worse than the next. If you ever want to look at that. So, anyways, let's get back to this. This guy, his name is Brian on Scouting. He has this blog. Uh, so, anyways, so it's like, why aren't female youth allowed in the Order of the Arrow? And this dates back to July of 2014 in an update. Um, So, beginning February 1st, 2019, OA unit elections will be permitted in Scouts, BSA troops, venturing crews, and Sea Scout ships. Previously, elections only were for Boy Scout troops. This means young women will be eligible for the election. Okay, so this was back in 2014, but I think they're really going um, to make it for boys. They're going to find a way because it is so instilled with Freemasonry that you're not gonna be able to get it. Now there were see these these women. I mean, yeah, you could be like a you could lead a scout and be a female, um, which is kind of what happened when my brother was in scouts and these two women were in charge of this troop, and my dad's like, "Yeah, these ladies are crazy. They're out to lunch. They don't know nothing about camping." you know. So, anyways, okay. So the original article reads, "There have been many great women in the Order of the Arrow over the years, although one thing in common: they're 21 or older. Women under 21 can't be inducted in the Order of the Arrow, which is the National Honor Society of Boy Scouts. Of course, young women 14 or older um, can join Venturing, a program of the Boy Scouts of America. So it gives Order of the Arrow professionals and volunteers get the question all the time. Scouter Herb Dodds, a volunteer in the Garden State Council, asked me recently. So when I so I went to the experts. This time, not one but two experts weigh in. Okay, so it says who it is. Uh, Okay, so their response: while this is a common question, the answer is actually quite simple. The OA is a Boy Scout program, not a venturing program. It's true that female venturers under the age of 21 don't qualify for admittance of the OA, but neither do male members of venturing crews who were not first qualified by their scout master as having met the admission requirements and then subsequently elected, well, a registered member of the BSA troop. Um, Membership of the OA isn't really a matter of gender. Becoming a member of the OA really speaks to the unique nature and methods used in venturing and Boy Scouting. The Boy Scout program created the honor society called the OA. Currently, the venturing program has neither created nor authorized an honor society. Well, I think that's probably going to change here in a while. I don't think to be honest with you, I think scouting it's going to be I don't know. I mean membership of Boy Scouts overall or Scouts or whatever you want to call it. Now they let girls in, kind of dwindled. And that's the thing is I think that they're going to find a way to to keep on with that sort of male only honor society for male scouts. They're going to find a way of segregation. Once they have a way, I mean, it's going to be integration, and now you're probably going to see segregation once again. Um, that's what's going to happen. It's a natural occurrence. You see it in culture all the time. Okay, so anyways, that right there is a map of the U.S. And all those little arrowheads signify where the OA lodges are. That's not BSA troops. Um, Now, that's not just see, look, that's kind of worldwide. There's even one in South Korea. There's one in UK. There's one in the island over there. Yep. Where is that? Is that Puerto Rico? Yep, Puerto Rico. So yeah. So UK, South Korea, Puerto Rico, and the United States, which Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. Now, I say all this because one thing that needs to be addressed is what's called the World Scout Jamboree. Um, and it has members of the BSA, members of the Girl Scouts, and other types of scouts all across this globe. And it is a UN program, believe it or not. And I can prove it to you. See, look, that right there. This still has the BSA logo, and it's like Scouts. Okay, creating a better world. Okay, so they call it the World Organization of the Scout Movement. Is a confederation of more than 170 national scout organizations with over 50 million members worldwide. And why is this? Why is this a problem? You say, okay, well, all this other stuff, it's like, okay. And then, of course, right there, scouting in the United Nations, relations and partnerships and initiatives. See, now they're partnering with the UN, or they have been actually. I believe it or not, they have been since before the integration, to be quite honest with you. And right there, there's a see scouting in the United Nations, a relation, partnership, and innovations is strategy. Oh gosh, oh gosh. See, you could download the PDF right there, or you could just kind of flip through it like so. Um, and you say, well, why does a program that has been traditionally, quote unquote, conservative and everything else like that? It's like, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a globalist organization. It is pseudo-Masonic, and a Masonic organization, and it's basically it's a spiritual root system if you think about it. Um, where you have the Freemasons that if which they supersede laws to protect a Freemasonic brother. You see, so even if your brother, quote unquote, commits a crime, you're the judge, and it shows that, and he's the defendant, and he shows that foot symbol or whatever. There's that foot symbol. There's a few of them. The judge going to show leniency. There's also Masonic hailing side of distress, which um, prevented a couple of submarines being blown up in World War II. Again, superseding sovereignties, superseding laws and everything. So no wonder it becomes international. You think about it. Oh, it's this whole brotherhood. And does it supersede religion? That's the thing. Or does it replace religion altogether? I want you to think about that. Um, and there's a bunch more material I could have dug up and presented to you today. Um, and so it's already been about a half hour. So I'm going to wrap it up for the day. So tell me what you think. Um, and in the comment section below, is this a good program for your child to be a part of? uh, Especially with a kind of a pseudo secret society. Not really a secret society, because it's public. It's got to be public, because it involves children and a major organization. Is this something you want your child to be a part of, to kind of learn how to shut people out? If you think about it, it's teaching them how to be in a lodge, a Freemasonic lodge. It's teaching them how to be a frat member or sorority member. It is teaching them how to be in a coven or grotto, putting that before your friends and family, putting that before years of being in a business or otherwise relationship, because it's all about the group. It's all about the dignity of the group. That's what it's about. And that's unfortunate. So, anyways, I really hope that um, you want to reconsider your child being in Scouts, whether it's Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, because again, they all fall under the World Scouts. So, anyways, until next time, have a nice one.
I'll slip on my wing and see if I can start a ride.